NGF, natural growth factors from the synergistic formulation of premium bird nest extracts and other effective ingredients. NGF, the only natural way.
Okay, also a short video on NGF. As I shared, I have in 2017, I have the opportunity to witness the launch of NGF. So Professor Lim was sharing with us, yeah, being an engineer, I totally know nuts about all these kind of issue until 2017 when Professor Lim was sharing with us that our autonomic nervous system, ANS, control all these involuntary action in our whole body system. Talk about breathing, yeah, talk about our digestion, talk about everything that we have no control. Actually, our body is our autonomic nervous system help us to control this. So why is it so important as what the video shared? If our ANS is not in good function, what can happen? Okay, let's take a look. What can happen after this? Yep. So first and foremost, Alzheimer's disease. I think in Singapore now in 2023, I think most of us who have go to the library, all this, I think a lot of the time we see the first section in our community library. The Singapore government actually highlighted a lot on Alzheimer's disease, dementia, Parkinson, all the old age diseases. But it's not only about old age now. Why Singapore government is so concerned on this issue now? Because these diseases actually get affecting younger and younger adults. So Alzheimer's disease basically is a combination of genetic, lifestyle, and environmental factors. I would say in Singapore, one of the major factors, I think many of you will agree with me, stress, our stressful kind of lifestyle, our habit, yeah, not our eating habit, yeah, not enough natural food, all this. So you can see that in this picture, yeah, Professor Lim was sharing with us that actually our brain shrink. Yeah, because all these nerve cells actually shrink. I don't know about you, but back in higher secondary, I actually studied bio. So I know that the neuron cells, yeah, the neuron cell actually connect, and that's where the communication from our brain to our muscle, all these. So basically, what will happen when Alzheimer's disease? Basically, the connection no longer there. So it's quite scary. If the connection is no longer there, even my brain can think, but I'm not able to control my movement. So this is something that we are very, very aware now. Okay, another one, Parkinson. Oh, when Prof. Lim shared in 2017 about Parkinson, I straight away asked him, Prof, I have a cousin that at that time is only 62 years old. She suffered from, because I was sharing about her condition, her seriousness with Prof. Lim. Prof. Lim state that this cousin actually suffered from stage 4 Parkinson. I didn't know Parkinson got even stage 1, stage 2 until stage 5. Yeah, so at that time, my cousin actually suffered from stage 4. Okay, later I share about my cousin issue. Then beside Parkinson, what else? Autism. I'm quite surprised. Even autism in young children, it is a neurodevelopmental disorder. And I think many of us have also come across our own friends, our own family members who may have children suffer from autism. So, and I feel that as compared to when I first graduated, nowadays I tend to see a lot more of such cases also. So autism is also one of the main concerns to address with NGF. Yeah. Okay. Then after that, epilepsy. A neurological disorder marked my sudden recurrent episode of sensory disturbance. I didn't really understand what is epilepsy until I think 2018, 2019, when I chanced upon a case, a real case, who suffer from epilepsy. Oh, that's where I get to understand what is the inconvenience to that patient. So epilepsy is also one of the issue that NGF can help. Yeah, and depression. Again, depression, insomnia, all these kind of issue to me it's like getting more and more going into chronic issue. Yeah, but in this case, you say that depression is believed to connect to changes in level of chemicals in our brain with serotonin, dopamine. I think nowadays we all also come across many of these words, dopamine, serotonin, and this norepinephrine. Yeah, that affect our movement, our learning, and our all these kind of sleeping patterns. So again, can this really help? Can NGF really help on this? Yeah. So another one that is nowadays, I also come across schizophrenia. Yeah, schizophrenia. Yeah, and I didn't know that it ranks ninth among all the various diseases in terms of the burden of due to the premature mortality and disability arising from the disease. And there is currently no cure for this. Yeah, I chanced upon this and I realized that in Woodbridge Hospital, yeah, the doctor actually don't give them the medicine at all. It's actually more of psychological now. Yeah, how then do they treat, how then do they identify this kind of issue? Okay, one more. Dissociative identity disorder. Another one that is very, very difficult for a person who never come across this to understand this kind of issue until we meet someone or someone who has children who have such an issue. And most of them is caused by trauma. And all these are related to our autonomic nervous system. And one of the last one, memory loss, dementia. Yeah, and it can be also be caused by brain injury on old and new memories. And I think most important, I think for many of my friends tonight that I have also invited, I think for our parents, old age parents who tends to have memory loss through old age. So how can NGF address later on? Okay, so this one, yeah, so that was in 2000, this is in 2017, yeah, 21st of May. I got a chance to meet Professor Lim Ka-ming during the official launch of NGF at the St. Regis Hotel. Now it's already in the number 6 years. Yeah, that was during 2017 Avita 10th anniversary. This year, Avita is celebrating our 16th anniversary. And for NGF, it's the 6 years. Yeah, number 6. And now we have already improved version NGF Plus. Okay, so NGF Plus, which give you better effect, I feel. Yeah, so far from the feedback from my friend. Okay, during the initial stage, yeah, very, very important. It must have good manufacturing practice. It is manufactured in New Zealand. Yeah, you even have the Ministry of Health from New Zealand, yeah, to certify that. Then also one of the very important tests whereby it show the concentration of the amino acid of the EBN, yeah, from this NGF as compared to different type of natural food. In this case, they compare to milk, to egg yolk, yeah, to egg white, yeah, to different type, even to infant formula. Yeah, this test mainly they tested in our Singapore A-Star and National University of Singapore. And this one is showed in terms of the amino acid, the concentration of amino acid is very, very high compared to the others natural food item. Okay, which is important because this one showed that how effective in terms of helping in the nerve, yeah, recovery of the nerve. Okay, Another test whereby it showed the concentration of the monosaccharides. I didn't really understand what is this, but basically this one is the simplest form of sugar, like glucose, fructose of the EBN, the edible bird nest, as compared to different type of food also. Again, in terms of the concentration, because this one help to store and provide energy from the food that we take in. Okay. So the next test that really sit me up at that time, during the launch, is this one. Professor Lim was showing us that they tested in the clinical test NGF, a person taking NGF as compared to a normal person and a person without NGF. You see? And this one is with a person with Parkinson's disease. Remember just now I talked about my cousin at that time, 2017, when it was launched. My cousin suffered from, according to Prof. Lim, stage 4 Parkinson's disease. At that time, even when I go to her house, she hold a cup of water, she will spill the whole cup of water. So about after this, I was sharing with her and I seek Professor Lim's advice. She said that the first week, take 1 NGF every night for the first week. Then after the first week, the second week onward, for the next 4 months, take 4 NGF every night, because hers is stage 4. So it's a serious case of Parkinson. So why? Because you look at this slide, this clinical test. See, normal person with NGF and normal person, in terms of the nerve cell. After with NGF, this one become more dense. Whereas a Parkinson person, you compare to a normal person, the nerve cell is so much less. So in terms of the connectivity, to me, I will always share just based on layman understanding. In terms of the connectivity of the nerve, of the neuron, no wonder we can understand now that a Parkinson patient can very difficult for them to control what they want to hold or how they want to move. So because their nerve cell is already depleted. So in this B2 Parkinson with NGF, I was very, very happy to see that the nerve cell actually become quite dense also. It's almost like a normal person. You look at these lower two one. So this gave me the hope and give me the courage to share with my cousin at that time. So I'm very, very happy that today my cousin, although still have Parkinson, but at least she can hold a cup of water without spilling much. Without even spilling. She can hold a cup of water and move around. I think that is, in terms of the quality of life, is already tremendously improved. Okay, so, and this is the report whereby it's tested in A-star. Very, very important. As a Singaporean, I'm always very proud of our A-star agency, the scientific lab as set up by our Singapore government. This lab, mainly they attract the top scientists around the world. So tonight, I even have a friend whose brother is one of the CEO of A-star department there. So I'm very, very happy to share that, very proud to share with friends from overseas, especially and from other countries, that this NGF product, the chemical tests, the lab tests are all done in our Singapore government lab, and also in NUS also. Okay, so the next one, and this is the other test that is, to me, is very important. Why? Because they actually test NGF, the one, you can see the red color one. I mean the red line, but is the green block here. They are comparing to today's medical standard, which is the dark green. So they are comparing to the most high-end, most premium medical standard. NGF is a totally natural product. So my question to my friend at that time will always be that, if there is a product that is totally natural, will you rather let your family members take as compared to take the most premium chemical drugs. Nowadays, we all know, even the scientists from A-Star share with us that if we can allow a patient to take more and more natural things, reduce the intake of chemical drugs, yeah, then we can, a lot of time we can reduce the effect of long-term side effect of the synthetic drugs, of the chemical drugs, all this. So this one definitely give us a lot of very promising in terms of the clinical test. The other one, they test on the, what is this? They test on the cell group, the cellular marker for proliferation and neuronal differentiation. To me, these two marker is actually an inverse relationship. So the higher it is, it actually show the in term of the relationship is much better. And they compare to the medical standard also. See, this is the medical standard. This is the NGF. Again, it compared very, very favorably to the most premium medical standard. And the most premium medical standard as of today, dementia, Parkinson, all this, there is no cure. So we can imagine if a person, if a family member suffering from Parkinson, you go and see the doctor will give you some of the standard drugs. They are not even giving you the premium drugs yet. Because as of now, the premium drug is not even able to cure. So if NGF can help, definitely would you or your friend would then be open to try that. I think that is a question that we ask ourselves as we share with our friend, yeah, especially for tonight or even after tonight. Okay. So then after this, what else? This is another clinical test. Yeah, again on the petri dish, whereby they compare the NGF, the nerve cell, to the medical standard. Then they compare to those without any growth factors. You can see in terms of the nerves, yeah, a lot less. And the 10% edible bird nest, 10% edible bird nest, basically we are talking about, because at that time when we first start to understand that NGF comes from the extraction from bird nest, being a Chinese Singaporean, for Chinese family, as long as we have the rich Chinese family, a lot of time they will take all the bird nest. Yeah, it's a delicacy, it's a premium delicacy for health. But then compared to all this, what is NGF compared to all this? You can see in terms of the clinical tests. So even professor was sharing with us that edible bird nest versus NGF. NGF, basically what is it? It is biostat, based on the latest biotechnology extraction of the bird nest, amino acid of the bird nest. Yeah, strict selection, being in the clinical lab, as long as the clinical lab is very reputable, very go by the medical standard, all these, then it is very important. Why? Because we all know, I think only yesterday, we just met with a friend who are in the bird nest industry. Yeah, she was sharing with us that nowadays there are even unscrupulous merchants who may even breach the bird nest. So that people, laymen like us, when we go and buy bird nest, we think that, wow, this one is very, very white, very, very nice. Actually, they may have under breaching process that we don't know. So the processing method of the amino acid is very important also. Yeah, in terms of the risk and the virus, and whether there is any heavy metals in the bird nest. Okay. Okay, so
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
So what are the other ingredient in NGF? Yeah, the other main supplementary ingredient. One of them, like what the video shared, purple chokeberry extract. The main function is it helps in the genetic and strengthening the immune system. Okay, so the other one, correct, bacoba extract. Again, this one help in the genetic issue, the immune system, And the regenerative benefit, I think more important thing, those of you who have been taking Celagen, now we talk about cell repair and cell regeneration. This one is in terms of our nerve cells. So it helps in that. And that's why it enhances the memory, part of it. Okay, sage extract, regenerative benefit also. Yeah, it's used for also other thing, digestive problem. Yeah, loss of appetite. So it is a combination of the different natural ingredients that help in all these nerve issue. Natokinase, I never know about this until now. I even try natokinase by itself. I didn't know that it is even awarded in the pharmacy, yeah, science also. Yeah, it helped in the Alzheimer's disease. Yeah, but of course, people who take all these, the problem is how much of such an ingredient are you going to take to effect the kind of effective result. So NGF is basically how is synergistically combined together all these effective ingredient, but the main ingredient is really the amino acid from the bird nest extract. Okay. And last one, beta glucan. Also, research studies have done a lot in this in terms of sharpening our molecular pathway. Okay, so you can read about this in our handbook, in our website also. But I think more important thing tonight, I want to invite some of my close friends who have experienced for themselves, especially not just for themselves and for their parents. Yeah. So first and foremost, my very good friend Anand. Anand is I think more than 30 years friend. Yeah, he's a senior lawyer. Yeah, I think at that time he was sharing with us that his mom fell down. I think is Anand here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Anand, I think can I ask you to share with the audience, how is your mom now? And now I know you are also giving NGF to your auntie in KL. Yeah, please share with us how is the effect so far?
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Anand. I like it the way Jutek has put my age over the phone. I wanted to just say I'm 25. But anyway, what happened was about 4 years ago, my mom had a fall. And she was a very active person, but she fell down from a staircase. So she fell and then she had a blood clot, and eventually she was diagnosed to have PSP, which is progressive supranuclear palsy. It is a rare neurological condition that can cause problems with balance, movement, vision, speech, and swallowing. It is caused by increasing number of brain cells becoming damaged over time. So after that, her condition deteriorated rapidly. She would just be sitting on a chair, the geriatric chair, and just looking in front with no reaction. You can walk past her and then she wouldn't have any reaction. I then discussed this with Joey, because at that time I was taking Celagen and just discussing with him, and then he says, "Hey, why don't you start her on NGF?" A bit reluctant because she was on a lot of medication and things like that. So, but subsequently I started, and I could see the difference. After months of taking NGF, you could see that her response. She does respond. I mean, she didn't go back to a previous condition. She doesn't talk much or that, but she started responding. And over the years, she takes 2 a night. And over the years, in fact, even now, you can have a conversation. She might not respond very fast, but she will listen to you and then give a 1-word answer or 2-word answer. So she can process what I'm telling her. But it takes some time for her to respond, but she can. And I remember 3 weeks ago, I was feeding her and I gave her some tea and I thought she had finished with it. Then I brought the tea back to the kitchen, and then I came back and then she looked at me. I said, "Why do you want some more tea?" And she looked at me and said, "I want my pee," things like that. So it really improved. And in fact, today I was talking to my son and he said he observed over the 1.5 years that she's able to respond better. she can understand what's happening. Maybe the process of, verbalizing what she thinks is difficult, but compared to what she was before NGF, you can see a tremendous reaction, because before NGF, you just look straight. There's no reaction in the eye. There's no reaction with a smile or a laughter. Whereas now you see that, some response, you don't expect someone to go back to their original state, but at least some quality of life, rather than just sitting on the chair and not knowing what's happening.
Okay, thank
you. What's going on. Yeah.
How about your aunt now? Your aunt's
yeah, my aunt is 82 years old, and she does qigong, all that. She's active, but she always tells me that she had this trauma on the hands. The hands start cannot control the movement of the hands. So I think I discussed this again with Joey, and Joey was saying, why don't you try on NGF? And of course, we then started I started NGF with her. It's been about a year. I think come July will be about a year, and July will be about a year. And she says that the trauma is reduced significantly, and in fact, I've continued to, Initially, she was very reluctant to take, 82 years old, asked them to take medication, and then, I told her it's not a medication, it's a supplement. It's something like a supplement, just to improve your condition. For old people, you cannot tell them more, you just tell them, it's for your own good. And then she started taking it, and now she's taking it every day diligently. In fact, Joey just helped me send her another 15 boxes so that it can help her through until next year.
okay.
So that's how it went. And in fact, I just want to touch on this because I think Winston, will he be speaking?
So Winston, now you share with your good friend Winston. Now I want to ask Winston.
No, so what I did was I then spoke to Winston about this because he was talking about his parents and his mother. And I spoke to Winston as to what has happened to my mom and what's happening. And I think from here, I let Winston take over, and Winston, from there, you can tell them how it helped you. Is he in?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Winston, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm outside with friends. But I told Joey that I want to contribute tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
It's important. It's a follow-up from what Anand has said. In 2021 August, Anand told me about NGF and Stelegen. At that time, my father had just discharged from NUH. He had a stroke in May 2021, but he was bedridden, immobile, and just couldn't take food. So the focus at the time was on my dad, which actually, on hindsight, as true, it's very normal. In fact, Anand would know, when we have an injury case or a client, the doctor will always try to cure the most serious injury first, then take care of the minor ones. So it's the same for any set of parents. One is down, you want to focus on the one who's really in the worst condition. So we all forgot about my mom. So I didn't take up Anand's suggestion in August 2021. In January 2022, my dad passed on, and that's when our focus shifted on my mom. And we noticed that her mood was down. It's like as bad as a zombie. Couldn't bother about anything. And by stroke of luck, I happened to have a matter with Anand, and we spoke again. And he again shared about NGF and Stelegen. So I remember that week he spoke with me. I touched base with Joey, and that Saturday I went down to meet Joey at Avita. And it's been more than a year, from February 2022, now it's July 2023. My mom is still taking NGF and Stelegen, but the thing I want to tell everyone is NGF works because she's more alert. A month of taking NGF in March 2021, she could walk more. And the best thing is when I suggested trying NGF and Stelegen, my siblings, I have two brothers and one sister, they were a bit lukewarm. But immediately, sometime in March, they noticed the improvement. And now, they make sure I top up. They make sure the stocks don't go too. They make sure the stocks don't go too low.
So this Saturday top up, right? This Saturday got a lot of promotion.
Yes. As you're aware, I spoke with my brother, and he's gonna ask me to top up. And just
Okay.
now, Joey shared about a certain person from A Star. That person is my brother. He cannot come on board. He's not into biotechnics or biomedical science. He's in manufacturing, but he how should I say? He also takes religiously NGF and surgeon for himself and his wife.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, let me go on now. I still got a few more to share.
Okay,
Thank you,
then
Winston. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I go on. After this, I also have another friend. Where? Yeah. Okay. Now another friend, Derek, also whose mom also suffer from dementia. I think Derek, are you here? Yeah. Very.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Thanks, Derek. Yeah. Maybe you can share how's your mom condition now, from last year until now.
I noticed my mom cannot recognize me in January last year, before the Chinese New Year. We was getting worried because if she cannot remember us, it means that her dementia is getting worse, and it's very difficult to take care of an elderly person if he cannot remember you. So I was a bit worried, but also a bit helpless. But during that time, it was during Chinese New Year. I was trying to clean up, doing some spring cleaning, and I come across a pamphlet which I went to, but I didn't really pay much notice during that time. And then I saw this article about NGF. So I contacted Avita, and then about 3 weeks later, I think this Joey contacted me, and then so from there I get to know NGF. From there on, I let her try. I think maybe about 1-2 weeks later, there's a bit of an improvement in her memory, and shortly after that, she regained her memory and can recognize us again. So from there on, I have been letting her continue to use NGF. So there has been improvement.
Yeah.
So within a few months' time, she will be 99 years old already. So
Wow.
I can't really expect much from NGF. As long as it can continue to maintain her memory, then I'll be quite happy already. As long as it don't deteriorate, then it should be quite good for me.
Yeah, I think that is the best gift we can give to our parents. That's all, when in their old age, whereby they can enjoy the company of the children and grandchildren, everybody in the family. I think that is important, right?
Because I've seen some of my neighbors also got dementia. Some already passed on already. Because the stages I've seen from them is that when during the early stage, they cannot recognize you. Then as time goes by, they become more serious. They cannot recognize you. Then as they become more worse, they refuse to eat. They cannot understand what you're talking about. And then they become very thin. And that's where it's very, very dangerous already. So I've seen a few of them, when they become very thin, it's just left a few months for them to live on.
Start sharing with them. Sharing with them for this Saturday.
They already passed on already. One is the daughter is a teacher, already passed on. The teacher also passed on because he got cancer. Then my neighbor also got, my next door neighbor also got dementia, because initially she got diabetes, but somehow he also got dementia. But from now, I mean, for a few years already, I never seen them already. I do not know what happened to her. So I think it's also getting worse.
So everyone, you see, every one of us, we can see that, in fact, more and more of such cases, which is actually very legitimate concern by the Singapore government.
It seems that it's quite rampant for dementia. And firstly, it started off with mostly started off being diabetes, and then getting worsened into dementia.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Derek. Yeah, thank you for coming on to share with everyone. Yeah, thanks. I go on next. Others that I want to share. Let's go on. Okay, this is one of the I think Dr. Diona's friend, yeah, another doctor also, yeah, who got the patient 80 years old, yeah, suffer from Parkinson disease. Again, put her on NGF, yeah, and I think in terms of the, I won't say full recovery, but at least a recovery in terms of mobility. Yeah, NGF is not just about dementia, Parkinson. As I shared earlier, I'm surprised even children, stroke also. Yeah, so one of the latest one that I have, yeah, this is quite an old case, whereby this patient start taking NGF and Selagen. But I think tonight, I don't know whether Nancy in? Nancy Chai, are you in? Yeah, can I invite you to share about your case?
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
yeah,
hi Nancy. Yes, I want to invite you to share about your own case. Yeah,
Thank you.
I understand. Yeah, recently. Yeah, how is your recovery now so far?
Okay. I started Selagen in 2015. And in 2017, when NGF came on, I started on that because I'm getting older and my capacity of work has reduced, and my mind is a bit cluttered as I age. So I started on Selagen, and I feel that after taking for a while, I feel that my memory goes back to as if I was younger and my capacity increased as if at my younger age. So in my last project, I could move my entire company to another new place. I managed to do the project properly. Yeah. And this March, 30th of March, I got a stroke. When I asked the doctor whether I can continue with Selagen and NGF, they said don't interfere with the medication. But I have confidence in these two products, so I continued taking without, then noticing it. Yeah. And on week 2, I could, they sent me for physio to train me on standing and walking, and I could do it. So week 2, I can get down to go to the toilet myself. They allow me. Otherwise, the nurse will have to go with me. Yeah. So as it's now, I'm improving. My energy and my brain power is getting back to normal. But it takes time. I still need to get back my energy.
Okay, good. I think I hope you are on a good well to recovery, Nancy. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Let me go on to the next one. Yeah. Just now we went to talk about autism. Yeah. So I have personally come across Alice, who is a principal and founder for CSC Full Brain Training Center. Tonight she is not here, but I understand she has helped many of her students who are special. A lot of them are special needs kids. Yeah, in helping them in terms of their study and in terms of their physiology. Think in terms of sleeping pattern also. So tonight I want to invite her friend, Siu Ling, to share about how Alice helped many of her students in Muar. I understand it's in Muar in Malaysia. Yeah, Siu Ling.
Hi, everybody. I'm Siu Ling. I'm very thankful to know teacher Alice. She's a lady full of love and patience. And for all these more than 17 years, she has been helping children with special needs. And she find that combining NGF, especially on the learning part, the children actually are able to get back to normal stream much faster. And of course, beside NGF, she also incorporate our product, Libiotic, which can improve the gut health, and also our TCM herbal essential oil for the children's health. Okay, and it's amazing when we hear about her stories, how she helped the children. And one of them came to her center. She is already 6 years old and can't really speak. Okay, through all the therapy and together with NGF, this child is able to speak and able to win champion in the storytelling competition. And it's amazing because many children who took as long as 6 years before she know about Arbita, okay. They take about 6 years to go back to the normal mainstream school. But now she's able to help these children as fast as 2 years, or some even as fast as 6 months, yeah, that they are able to relate to people around them. They are able to connect, they are able to learn with better capacity, because their overall health is actually improved. Okay, we know autism, ADHD, and special needs children are on the rise, not only in Malaysia, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, Taiwan, everywhere. We can do our part because children are the future hope of the country. And parents are very concerned because if they grow old, who are going to look after these children? Okay, so let's pay it forward. We know the goodness of NGF. It does not just only help the seniors, our parents, the elderly, but it can also help the other spectrum, which is the children. Okay, thank you, and let's do our part. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Siu-Ling. I think very important. I think for those of you tonight here, over here, who have tried NGF and have experienced good result, I want to invite you to pen down your testimonial. It can actually help a lot of people to understand their own recovery also. Okay, let me share the next one. Let me share. Okay, so this case is one of the student of Alice, right, Siu-Ling?
Yes.
Yeah, I think yeah, and she really willing to share at that time when she came into the Zoom. So I'm very happy to see that her child, yeah, 5 years old now, is also getting better. I think, of course, to me, everyone in terms of, I won't say full recovery, but the recovery pace, everyone differ. So it depends on each case, their severity, and each case condition. So it's important for us to share with our friends transparently and authentically. Yeah. Okay. So the next one that I want to share tonight is really on back to dementia also. Because Aiza is one of my good friend from the Philippines. She's a nurse. She's a nurse herself. At that time, her mom, back in 2018, when I met them in Singapore, I even met up with the mom, get to know her. I didn't know that the mom after that suffered from the dementia. Yeah, and this video is what Aiza also shared about mom condition from NGF also. Yeah, let's pray.
Hi, my name is Aiza and I am a registered nurse currently working here in New Zealand. And I just would like to share with you a story of my mom who has experienced the wonders of the natural growth factor. It began when my mom started taking Celagen in 2018, and she is happy how Celagen is giving her energy, improving her mood, and enhancing her beauty. Meanwhile, my mom was diagnosed with early stage of dementia a few years back, and my mom wished to take something to enhance her memory as she complains of difficulty in remembering, and she felt like everything was slowly fading. So my mom wished to take something to bring back her memory and to at least to slow down the progression of the symptoms of dementia, when a friend of mine suggested for my mom to take NGF. And surprisingly, when my mom started taking Celagen with NGF, she was able to sleep well, and she said that for the longest time she was able to remember her dreams. And my mom also said that she was able to felt like her memory has been sharpened too over the weeks. And for us and for my mom's experience, it was really priceless. Thus, I thank NGF, I thank Avita for bringing this into our lives, and I thank God for the gift of NGF.
Okay, so you can see from so many of the friends that I personally come across, yeah, the thing that they share in terms of their recovery really bring a lot of warmth to our heart. That such a wonderful product, and if we can help our family members, I'm sure it can help many of our friends who may have parents or relatives who also suffer from such an issue. Yeah, nerve issue. Actually, a lot of the time we don't realize that until it really strikes us. So the next one that I want, the last one is really to share about, as I shared earlier, it depends Yeah, for normal healthy user, most of the time I will advise my friend, yeah, if they just want to try for prevention, just try it out one capsule per day. Yeah, normally for me, I take before I sleep. Yeah. So for healthy condition, after that, yeah, first week intake one capsule per day. Yeah, if you want to try it for a 3 months period, yeah, then take 2. Then you see yourself whether if you feel that you're always forgetful, then you can monitor yourself. But serious cases like that time, my cousin, right? Professor Lim shared, yeah, take 4. Again, over 3 months to 4 months. Then you see the difference. For those who are really suffering from such an issue, very, very obvious. So I think I wish upon all of you to really give yourself, yeah, give your family members or relative or friends a chance for them to try out something that is totally natural. Okay, so that's my sharing for tonight. I thank you all of you for your attention. Yeah, thank you. Kasiang, thank you.
Okay, just now at the chat room, Veronica is also sharing her testimony. Hello, Veronica, you want to share?
Hi.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I have been giving my mom NGF since I found out about it about 3 years ago. She was diagnosed with the early onset of dementia. So it has really, dementia sometimes the progress can be quite fast, especially during COVID when they're not able to socialize. So, but we are able to really slow the condition down. She's still cooking us Christmas dinners, Chinese New Year lunch, and things like that. So all the recipes are up here. She's got nothing written down. So if she can cook us a great meal, then I thank God for NGF for her. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, there are more testimony. Pen it down, yeah, Veronica. Pen it down,
Okay.
then take a good picture with your mom together. That's we can compile. I think it's very important for us to have a good compilation of all these testimonials. Yeah.
Okay. In the chat room, CK Lee also asked a question, although DB Xiuling and DB Chongbei has answered, but I think it's a good sharing for learning for everybody. She said her girl cannot swallow capsule, so how to take NGF? So DB Xiuling's suggestion is actually you can cut it. I do have friends also, they cannot reply capsule, so they cut it and then they just chew. She just chew. I mean, of course, you must remember to the liquid inside is the key, but she just cut it and then chew the whole thing. Okay, so you can cut it and then chew the whole thing. So another person asked a question.
Yeah, actually, for this one cutting one, I have a good friend whose brother got stroke. He actually cut it and pour into the tube. So it's not easy, yeah, but we all know if they can swallow it will be much more effective. But if really got no choice, then you have to find ways to at least give them some improvement on that. Yeah.